Oh, you know what it is. We're here with the former UFC interim lightweight champion, the future Hall of Famer, Justin Gaethje. It's good to see you, man. How you doing?
Yes, sir. Great.
So Paramount Plus, January 24th, UFC 324. I know you're a man of humility, right? But if any man was going to be the last to walk on our first show on a new TV deal, probably was going to be the highlight, Justin Gaethje. What were your thoughts when they called your number and built the card around you?
Yeah, no, it was exciting. Very exciting. You know, it's just been a crazy sport. It's just such a crazy ride. There's so many variables that are constantly changing and adjusting and shifting. And, you know, Islam going up, Ilya not fighting in January. You know, you could have never predicted these things. So, you know, I've been talking it. I've been trying to speak it into the ether. For a long time now. I'm going to fight in January. I was going to beat Ilya, and then I was going to fight Max on the White House card. But things are shifting and still going in the right direction though.
So before you got to the UFC, you won a major title, successfully defended it 5 times.
Yep.
Do you remember the fan excitement and enthusiasm when you signed in 2017? I know it was 8 years ago now, but do you remember how excited the UFC fans were that you were finally bringing your act to the octagon?
Yeah, I do. You know, and I've been a fan of the sport for so long, and I understand, and I love going home and watching the fights after. And but really, the excitement came after I fought Michael Johnson. Like, that was the best coming out party, to double bonus, to get rocked twice, and to, you know, it proved everything and showed everything I'd ever, you know, taken and from any of these fights, you know, getting rocked, coming back, inspirational stuff, you know. It's literally, I was made for this. I've said it for a long time. I was made for this, bred for this. My parents got me ready for this from a young age, and I love where I'm at.
There's no doubt you were made for this. You love to fight. There's no comp for you, right? I am charged with capping these historical moments. And when you knock out Edson Barboza, I'm sure you've heard this soundbite, I scream at the top of my lungs, have you ever seen anything like Justin Gaethje?
Yeah.
And back to the humility, have you ever seen anything in this sport quite like Justin Gaethje? Because I have not. No
one's ever been as consistent, ever. And I've stated that for a long time. You know, Chuck Liddell's pretty close, but, you know, really, it's when I was going to lose to Max, who makes the choice there to go to sleep or knock him out, you know? Right. I knew I was losing, and I knew that was my only chance. And most people, you know, rightly so, would not take that chance. But that's who I am, and that's, if I get that chance, if I'm in that position again, I will do the same exact thing.
So you started wrestling at 4 years old.
Yep.
You go 191-9 at Safford High School in Arizona. You go on to do things at the University of Northern Colorado that hadn't been done at that school since 1970, right? Becoming an All-American and everything else. You're 37 years of age. Where are your emotions, negative or positive, when it comes to the commitment, the discipline, and everything it takes to get yourself ready for fights of this magnitude?
Yeah, I mean, the sacrifices, you know, I don't have regret. Obviously, when I see my brother with 4 daughters and stability, you know, he had stability at a young age. Working in the mines. This sport is crazy, and I never would have thought that I could or would make it this far. But I think if I would have had that thought, then I would have never been here. You know, I've taken it one day at a time, and I come from such a small place, and to have the opportunity to inspire people that don't speak the same language as me is incredible for me. And it's everything as a child I could dream of. You know, I loved helping people. I loved making people feel good. I love putting positive things and positive energy into people's life and outcomes and decisions. And, you know, this sport is so relatable because we can all understand what it might mean to have to fight. And max effort, I give max effort every time. Humans recognize max effort. And I think that's why, you know, people respect me so much. But I'm trying to inspire the world, you know, in a positive way, and I have an opportunity to do that. And I've done it.
You've done it. No, you've inspired everybody. I do wonder, though, I know some fighters have been able to successfully build a family while becoming a world champion, right? But in realizing financial freedom, essentially at 37 years of age, and you got most of your life ahead of you, can still procreate, right? Do you think that you probably made the right decision to keep your focus in the tunnel?
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, when I left 2007, my dad dropped me off at college, and I've been doing the same thing every day since that day. August 2007. Wrestled for 4 years, you know, fought 7 times while I was wrestling, and then went right into, you know, turning professional, and I've been doing it since then. Yeah. And it's been a crazy ride, and it's gone so fast. I wish I could, you know, retain more, but when you're doing so many amazing things, you know, UFC takes me all over the world. Right. You know, I never thought I would travel the world, and now, again, I get messages every day from people across the world about how inspiring and, you know, how I make them better. And so, I can ask for anything else.
And still not out of the realm of possibility that you become a professional golfer when this career is said and done anyway. So
I'm not going to be a pro golfer, but I think I could be a celebrity pro. And that's where my goals are.
is Dustin Jacoby better than you or no?
Dustin Jacoby is as good as me.
As good as you. Okay,
Yeah,
you guys are the two best.
He's actually a lower handicap than me right now.
He is, okay.
He's like a 5.5, and I'm like a 6.7.
All right, so UFC 249, I'm going to take you back to the global pandemic. You beat Tony Ferguson to win the UFC interim lightweight championship.
Yep.
And let me remind you, an interim belt is on the line because the champion can't make the walk, right?
Yep.
The champion's unavailable. That's our reality, January 24th. But you didn't see much value in that interim belt. You sort of unceremoniously dropped it on the canvas. What will you do with the interim belt if you win it?
That was a mistake. But ultimately, the reason, that's who I am. I knew that Khabib was next. I knew that, it was going to be such a hard feat. And so I couldn't take the moment and enjoy it because I knew that I had to go back to work the next day with Khabib, being in the future. But, what it does, what an interim championship does for fighters is it puts us as a champion on paper. And it gives us the pay as a champion. It gives us the pay when I win it, I'll get, be paid as a champion. And so, fans can hate it, but, it does amazing things for us as athletes for these opportunities to make more money. And ultimately, this is my job. This is how I make money. I wouldn't recommend it, but, I love it.
Given your legacy and how entrenched it already was, I think a lot of the fans understood why you weren't going to fight Paddy Pimblett in a non-championship setting. But now it is for a belt, and that is the fight that is in front of you. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, no, Paddy Pimblett, this guy's got a ton of momentum, a ton of confidence, and those are two variables that are tough to beat. I'm going to have to really steal that momentum early and stay in my shell. I know this kid's going to be trying to kill me, and I know he's going to make mistakes, so I have to be ready to take advantage of these mistakes and fight a perfect fight. At the highest level, it's who makes mistakes first, and I'm going to need to teach him that.
He hasn't lost in the UFC. He's the younger man. Those things can be factored into a betting line. Have you seen the odds for the fight?
Yeah, I love that I'm an underdog. I think I'm 8-2 or 8-3 as an underdog in the UFC. 2017, I fought the top 5 in the world every year, consistently, and I'm still here. If I wasn't as good as I am, then I wouldn't be here, and I still am here because I am one of the best in the world. It's just such a crazy sport. It's such a small fraction of time. We're talking thousands of minutes till January 24th, right. And I got to be a 25-minute fight, and you have to be perfect for 25 minutes. And all I can do is prepare mentally, physically, and be thankful when I get there because it's such a fucking crazy sport. But Paddy Pimblett is a very popular guy right now, and it's going to do great things. I'm going to do the same thing I did for the Khabib and Tony thing. I'm going to fuck this up. Paddy wants to fight Ilya. Ilya wants to fight Paddy. Yeah. That's what they want, but right. I'm here to fuck it up again. And that's what I do. You're
one of the best athletes on this roster. I think anybody who has seen you throw a baseball or play golf can acknowledge that. And I think there are a lot of different sources for your confidence. The Rafael Fiziev win, I don't know that any lightweight was beating you that night. But how much confidence do you extract from just your strength of schedule and all the guys you fought? Paddy Pimblett, at least on paper, hasn't fought anyone close to your level.
Yeah, and ultimately it doesn't matter because it's such a crazy sport. It's such a small, it's 25 minutes in time. None of that's going to matter. Nothing in the future or before is going to matter. It's going to be about being perfect right then, right now. I'm going to tell myself every single day that he's coming to hurt me. And that's a mistake I've made in the past where, I thought maybe I didn't think I was in as much danger as I was. And that is a fatal mistake in this sport. And so I understand how dangerous this kid is. I understand how much he wants this and how hard it's going to be to take it from him.
So you haven't been quite as active over the last few years, right? You had one fight in 21, one fight in 2022, 2 in 2023, 1 in 2024, and then this will be your second in 2025. I know the belt can play into this, but over under 2.5 more fights in Justin Gaethje's career. Give us the over.
I have to say over. Yes. Yeah, because once I get this belt, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to beat Ilya. I'm going to beat Paddy. I'm going to beat Ilya. And then I got to get Max back. Have to. So I need him to win. I need him to beat Charles.
Yeah, right.
Actually, I guess it doesn't matter. They both beat me, so I want either one of those back. Yeah. Those are the only two guys that I have the opportunity to get back right now. Yeah. So that's what I'm shooting for.
Well, this sounds promotionally hyperbolic, and you're right in front of me, but I got to say, if any fighter on this roster, and I know I speak for the fan base, was to kick off this Paramount Plus partnership, it's got to be the highlight Justin Gaethje, January 24th.
Most consistent guy.
We'll see you at UFC 324. Let's go. Justin the Highlight Gaethje, ladies and gentlemen.